What do you think is the most dangerous movie set ever?
Rust.
Yeah.
Someone definitely got killed.
Yeah.
The Crow.
That might be it. Yeah, crust. Yeah, crust. Row.
Crust.
Row. Crust.
They're putting it out as crust. Just let people know that they know it sucks and throw people off.
Also, apparently the plot of that movie is that he accidentally killed somebody.
That's really in the plot of the movie?
Swear to God.
No,
Damn.
And now, like, the law is looking for him, and he's like, it wasn't my fault.
He's like, this gun was rusty. I don't know. It was a rusty gun. Rust.
No, that's his name, man.
Oh, fuck
Rust.
yeah. His name is Rust.
Yeah.
Damn. What a terrible pivot for Alec Baldwin.
Yeah. Yeah. I think those are the true, like, loss of human life. But
Yeah.
I would say, on the whole, I think it has to be a little film. Have you guys ever heard of Roar?
Of course not.
Yeah, I don't.
This is one of those fringe films that you'd only watch to see how bad it is, I assume.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay, I'm gonna look it up.
Don't even
Don't do it?
Don't
Okay, you're
do
gonna
it.
tell me. You're gonna tell me.
I'm gonna
Rivers
tell
do
you.
it. Let Rivers do it.
Oh,
He
yeah.
already did. He already looked it up.
Oh,
When
yeah.
all the kids have the internet, you're like,
Yeah.
let me Google it. I bet that happens all the time now.
So,
Okay, yes.
This is a little thing I wrote, sourcing from Richard Brody, writing for the New Yorker, Clark Collis, writing for Entertainment Weekly, Ben Cosgrove, writing for Time, Alex Pappademas, writing for Grantland, and Charlie Schmidland, writing for Vice. So
In
this
case
is,
you thought he was fucking making this shit up.
yeah. Well, no, I gotta give the writers their credit for citing my sources and whatnot, but also just that it was very heavily covered because this thing finally got a re-release in 2015, and that is when most people kind of became aware of it. But
Became Roarheads.
yeah, the Roarheads came out of the jungle. So the year is 1969. Hollywood talent agent Noel Marshall is on a safari in Mozambique. Noel would go on to be best known as the executive producer of The Exorcist. So he was a talent agent. He represented the guy who wrote The Exorcist and then got cut in on the profits of that movie. But that's still a couple years away. His biggest client is also his wife. And that would be the star of Alfred Hitchcock's The Birds, Tippi Hedren.
Oh, yeah, whose career was ruined by
Alfred Hitchcock.
So,
That's
yes.
why she's in Africa making these terrible movies, is because after Marnie, the last film she made with Hitchcock, he sexually harassed her,
Like
and
every
ruined her
actress,
fucking career. So now she's in Mozambique with her new husband, shooting a film called Satan's Harvest.
Oh, my God.
And
Sounds good. I'd watch that movie.
dude, it sounds.
I
Listen
like-
to this.
Yeah, he's got a brand, though. Exorcist, Satan's Harvest.
Well, he's just a talent agent at this point. He's
and
not
a devil worshiper.
Yeah.
Some kind.
So in this movie, George Montgomery plays a character named Cutter Murdoch.
Fucking A. Oh, my God, that rules.
And he is a private eye who inherits a heroin and marijuana drug ranch in Africa. And he gets there, and then everyone tries to kill him. And that's the movie.
I'd watch that.
And it's called Satan's what?
Satan's Harvest. The heroin and the marijuana.
It's called
That's-
Cutter Murdoch versus the motherfuckers.
Oh, it says Cutter Murdoch on the
Yeah,
poster.
so you better use that shit.
George Montgomery apparently made a few of these, but anyway, on their downtime, they're on safari, and while on safari, Marshall and Hedren were driven past an old Portuguese rubber plantation house that had been completely overrun by a pride of 30 lions.
Whoa.
The great beasts hung out of every window and door. Quotes, this is Tippi Hedren.
Cats like looking out windows.
Yeah.
This is good for your Halloween research. Cats be poking their heads out windows. I know this.
Tippi Hedren says, quote, "We were just delighted with the way that they adapted themselves to living there. They were just so funny." And,
Oh, no. They ripped someone's face off, didn't they?
and that's when Marshall had an idea. Quote, we ought to make a movie about this.
Houses, lions living in a house?
So it's a house.
That should have been called that.
that's
I would
been
watch
taken-
that.
Well,
Lions living in a house.
it's
I would
been
watch
taken over by lions. The windows and doors are all ripped out. And this insane guy who's, again, a talent agent, not a writer, not anything at this point, is just like, we should make a movie about this, which is the most like cocaine thought ever. It's like, no, dude, we should just do a movie about
I don't know.
this.
That's not even cocaine thought. That's like, I just had a spur of the moment genius
Yeah,
idea.
that. What if lions lived
Look
in a
how
house?
cute these lions are. This is money.
Yeah, the lion landlord. Like, what was the concept?
Yeah, I was going to ask, what's the story they're trying to tell here?
One lion won't stop shitting in the other lion's room.
So the guide explained that the lion population population was crashing due to deforestation and poaching. Marshall and Hedren thought that a movie about lions in Africa could help raise awareness, and they would use the proceeds from the film to improve the lives of the big cats. who were in captivity.
They're gonna make their lives better.
So, when he returned to the United States, not a writer, Noel Marshall banged out a script called Lions, and More Lions.
Whoa.
That's the name of the movie.
I would watch any movie called that. Lions, and More Lions.
They used to know how to name a movie.
No shit.
proper.
Just tell us what we're buying a ticket to, please. Folie à deux. I don't know what the fuck that means.
His script was simple and not at all convoluted. Lions, and More Lions told the story of a scientist who abandons his family in America to live in Africa in harmony with the big cats. He attempts to protect them from hunters. One day while he's away, the family arrives in his lion-filled house and they are terrified. And it's a comedy.
I could see that being a comedy.
He's like, get to know these guys. They're fun.
This is a 20-minute movie on paper, like what he's describing, but like...
he's got to get hyped up to leave his family. That's probably the first 30 minutes of the movie.
Totally.
And then he goes
learns to love.
Then he goes to the cats. It's probably the next like 45 minutes or so. And then his family comes, and that's that's the end of it.
Yeah, the door opens up and they go, lions, and more lions. Roll credits.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you know what? I learned to love my wife and kids again. All it took was being around these cats.
Yep, and then he gets his face ripped off. And he goes right to credits.
So Marshall and Hedren then set about convincing Japanese and British investors to provide the funds for a movie with a $3 million budget on a 6-month shoot. So that was the original plan.
Yeah.
John Stebetsky, writing for Drafthouse Films, quote, upon approaching Hollywood animal trainers for support, they were told their idea was a suicide mission and were dismissed as brain sick and completely and utterly insane.
Whoa, brain sick. That's a better title.
This isn't a cocaine idea. This is a brain sick idea.
So they soon learned that big cats are extremely territorial and would never be able to act in a movie together unless they were raised alongside one another. So, in response, they began covertly adopting young cast-off circus lions and breeding them in their home in Sherman Oaks.
Holy shit.
Hedren and her daughter, the emerging actress Melanie Griffith.
There you go.
The mother of the other shittiest movie of the year, Madam Web.
Exactly. And she's also, not the nicest person in the world, it seems, to her daughter.
Well, so...
generational trauma, baby. We pass it down.
Well, that might be because she and her stepbrothers lived amongst an ever-growing pride of over 30 lions inside their suburban home before authorities discovered the animals and made them move them.
Yeah.
So in 1972... And apparently, like her stepbrother was saying they were moving the cubs. Anytime animal control would come, they would just they had a sympathetic neighbor, and they would just throw them over the fence into the neighbor's yard, so the animal control guys wouldn't find them.
Oh my god!
And then finally they caught up to them. So, with no options left in Sherman Oaks, Marshall and Hedren bought a ranch out in Acton, California, just outside of Valencia, near Soledad Canyon, and they created a big cat sanctuary called Shambhala.
Fuck yeah!
Where the movie would be filmed. Shambhala is still around today, and they do 2 tours every month.
Really?
And I am fucking going.
Go to Shambhala.
I cannot wait.
I love that.
They're doing 2 tours in November. I think I'm gonna go to one. So the set for the film was built at Shambhala at an exorbitant cost, and they recreated the house that Marshall and Hedren had seen in Africa. This is also around the time they adopted an African bull elephant named Timbo and 2 Siberian tigers, who are, it should be noted, not from Africa.
Yeah. Do they all die? They actually made a movie? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
They made the movie in some capacity.
They absolutely did.
Holy shit.
So this is John Marshall, Noel's son again. Quote, I was about 15 and I said, why do we have tigers? There's no tigers in Africa. I was the voice of reason. I would say, why do we have mountain lions? Those are from North America. Everybody would go, that's a stupid question.
Damn.
This is why 15-year-olds hate their parents.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of the times they're right, and they're old-ass parents.
That's right.
They don't want to admit it.
Geography and habitat be damned. The other big cats made the elder Marshall so happy that he rewrote the script to include them. This movie would now be called Roar. Hedren originally wanted Jack Nicholson to play the lead role, but the non-actor Marshall took the role himself instead.
Wanted, as in this motherfucker was never going to do this movie.
Yes, that was
ever.
And this is the days before answering machines, so that phone just kept ringing.
Yeah, it's no wanted. Yes, we all wanted a lot of things in this world.
So, and this is all like quote unquote pre-production, and this is going on for years because they have to raise a pride of lions that won't kill them theoretically.
Yeah, this is obsession,
this guy must have thought the script
boredom.
was so fucking good.
I'm telling you.
He was like, "This is Star Wars."
Oh, yeah.
of fucking lions.
So at its height, Shambhala was home to 71 lions, 26
Jeez.
tigers, a tigon, which is half tiger, half lion, 9 black panthers, 10 cougars, 2 jaguars, 4 leopards, and 2 elephants. The only animal that the Hedren Marshall clan ever turned down was a hippopotamus, which I am shocked.
Because they're so dangerous.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
They
they're
at least knew that.
Yeah,
they
they're
know a little bit.
yeah, they're legit dangerous. I'm going to focus on these lions.
This is John Marshall again. Eventually, I was raising a tiger myself over in Marina Del Rey.
Whoa, that's a nice area.
I used to take the tiger to the bar over by the boats, and I'd tie him up on this railing because I knew the owner.
Oh my God.
The 70s in L.A.
Fucking A. I wish I lived here so bad in the 70s. You see these Robert Altman movies and shit. You're like, everyone's stoned and crazy, and the furniture looks terrible. It's a great time. Everyone's drunk.
Girls would come by and they'd go, "Can I play with the tiger?" And I'd say, "Oh, not right now. I'm leaving in a couple minutes. But if you give me your phone number, I only live 2 blocks away."
You'll maul your face off while you sleep.
Yeah.
So come on over. You'll get to know him really well.
I knew it was unusual, so I played it up. So
I use this tiger to get pussy.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
He don't mind me fucking. He just goes to sleep. Good
my
Lord.
pussy getting
Top.
footy tat.
My God. I mean,
Talk about a wingman.
pretty cool. Pretty cool.
A claw man. Principal photography on Roar began on October 1st, 1976, and would continue for 5 years.
God damn.
So Hedren and Marshall hired a promising young Dutch filmmaker to
This is why I know what this is. I know what this is.
a young Dutch filmmaker named Jan de Bont
Fucking
to
A.
shoot the film. De Bont, of course, would go on to shoot Die Hard and Basic Instinct, and of course he
Speed.
directed Speed and Twister.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
He's a notorious. I don't give a fuck. Let's do it.
Yeah, yeah,
Like, he's,
yeah, yeah.
He's kind of crazy. So of course he was the guy they found to do this fucking movie.
I don't care. I'm lacerating Helen Hunt with hail.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's awesome.
This was his first film, his
Yeah.
first American film.
Whoa.
And
That's
so
awesome.
he would spend hours setting up 5 cameras and then wait around for the cats to do something. So the vibe of this movie is essentially like a documentary style more than anything, because the practicality of getting cats to do something
Right.
is just impossible. So this guy would basically have to go handheld and just sort of film them doing things, and that's how they would fill in the B-roll of the movie.
Bad comedic timing.
Yeah,
Lions
that's
have.
right. Couldn't land a joke, and this is a comedy.
Yeah, that's going to be a big issue.
Yeah, that's right.
The good thing about a comedy is you need lots of B-roll of lions laying around.
Yeah, this is like a Robin Williams, Jim Carrey situation. Let him do what he needs to do. We'll get it in the edit. You're like, I don't think so.
The scene where 2 tigers ride in the back of a car took weeks to film because the tigers were freaked out because they're tigers and had never ridden in the back of a car.
Sure.
Why not?
Now that's funny. They should have filmed that.
They did.
They don't even know how to ride in a car. These lions.
I guess if you're going to the bar, you shouldn't drive your tiger there. It's not
You
safe.
ride him.
So, this is DeBont, quote, "It was frustrating at times, but I was hooked. The cats were fascinating. They never did the same thing twice."
And that's a modern quote from him.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
he's
yeah.
like, no, I still like this shit.
Yeah, well,
It was cool then. It's cool now.
well, that's surprising because 3 weeks into filming, a lioness grabbed DeBont by the back of the head
Whoa.
with her mouth and began violently shaking the Dutchman, effectively scalping him in the process.
Holy shit.
John DeBont received 120 stitches, but continued on with the film
That's
for the
what I'm
next
talking
5
about.
fucking years. There is a picture, I will put it on the Discord, I'll put it on Twitter, of him when he came back to the set, where he's got the friar tuck, just missing
Yeah.
bald part that is sewn up to fuck. And
Whoa.
he stayed on with this
I
movie.
love it. When
Well,
directors were like stuntmen.
yeah. It makes me feel a little different about the stories about him on Twister and Speed, where he was just like working people to bone. You're like, yeah, well, he did get a huge chunk
he
out of
earned
his
it.
head.
When Seth first said that, I was like, he sounds like an asshole. And then I was like, no, he has the experience to back
Yeah,
it up.
yeah.
Come on. Yeah, he was.
You should listen to him on some OG street shit,
right.
just
You're
based off his experience.
He's like, let me show you the fucking scar. All right.
and guess how good the movie was.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, one day, Marshall watched Timbo the elephant gleefully destroy a camper shell on his property. He loved it so much that he wrote a scene in the script where an elephant accident destroys a rowboat full of people.
Oh no, that sounds
Again,
unsafe.
These are not
Good God.
trained animals. These are just animals that he's been feeding for 3 or 4 years. Timbo would go on to break his trainer's shoulder, and a couple weeks later, he threw Tippi Hedren herself off his back while she was riding him. She suffered a fractured leg and massive scalp wounds. Quote, "It really was a freak accident. Timbo and I have been friends for years."
These are like Tiger King fucking people.
Straight
chimp
up.
crazy.
Yes,
Same
yes.
bullshit.
It's
They're
amazing.
Like, he was my son, though, so I let him stay. You're like, oh, he
It's
killed
just
your
the
friends.
same mentality of someone who has like a dog that bites people and they're
Totally.
fine with it, but
Totally.
these are like way more vicious.
So dangerous. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Tippy was later bitten in the head by a lion named Cherries and required
Always the cute name one really will fuck you up hardcore.
and required 38 stitches. This incident can be seen in the film.
Whoa.
So Hedren was also scratched on the arm by a leopard, bitten on the chest by a cougar. An assistant director narrowly escaped death when a lion's claws missed his jugular by an inch.
Wow, nobody actually died, though, which is unbelievable.
So of the film's 140-person cast and crew, over 70 of them were attacked by animals during the 5-year production of
Wow.
the film. So literally,
Break it down by the year. That's actually not that many people.
that is
Yeah,
still like a coin flip as to whether or not you're going to be mauled by a tiger.
there's no protocol involved to keep you safe. It's just like you may or may not get
People
hurt.
don't understand how poorly you get paid in the industry here.
Oh, yeah,
that you're
yeah.
willing to take the tiger maul job.
Dude, and it's Tippi Hedren and all these other people. Yeah.
Would you believe this was a non-union shoot?
Yeah.
So John Marshall said that he believed the number of people injured was actually over 100. And he would know because he himself was hospitalized following an incident in which a lion decided to clamp down on his head for 25 minutes. It took 6 men to pry the jaws apart, and he got 56 stitches in his head.
Oh, 25 minutes.
Straight up.
Wait, so you didn't just kill the fucking lion when it's when it's got your head in the mouth at like minute 5 or 3 or 2?
No, just imagine who
No,
these
he's like, this should
people
be
are.
a scene in the movie. That's what he's thinking by minute 20.
This is the guy who's taken tigers to Marina Del Rey. So
Yeah.
think of, he's like the Siegfried and Roy shit where it's like, we must not destroy Manticore.
That's right.
It's like, no, we have to destroy
We have
Manticore.
to.
I'm sorry.
That sucks.
Manticore fucked up.
Yeah.
Once, Noel Marshall was filming a scene in a bathtub. And again, this is in the film. He is at some point holding his hand up, and it is just gushing blood. In this movie, it's supposed to be a comedy. It has like this slapstick fucking like music and shit, and it's fucked up. Like
This rules.
I still haven't seen the whole thing, but I spent all morning just watching clips and being like,
Yeah.
this is genuinely terrifying.
Sounds
because
great.
you know none of these animals are trained. These are actually
Yeah.
just people with like 30 lions around them.
Totally.
So he's sitting in a bathtub, and a lion named Donnie bit him. Naked and covered in blood, Marshall chased the lion outside to chastise him. And that's when he was met by one of the Japanese investors in the film who had just arrived for a visit.
You goddamn lion. Hey, Mr.
Yeah, straight up.
Mr. Toyota.
The
nice to
money's
meet
been
you.
invested properly. Don't worry.
So another time, a brush fire broke out on the ranch. Noel was mauled by the cheetah that he was trying to save from the fire.
Holy shit. Why he's trying to save him from the fire? He was mauled by
Yeah,
it.
there's a brush fire. The cheetah's freaked out, and then a man just comes and be like, "I'm here to help." Like, of course he got fucked up.
Oh my God.
So you can see him actively bleeding throughout the movie. He was eventually taken to the hospital and diagnosed with gangrene and blood poisoning due to all the animal bites.
Jesus
My
Christ.
And Tippi eventually got gangrene too.
God damn.
This shit is fucking
I remember
wild.
this is so stupid. It has nothing to do with it. My cousin. One time, my brother told my cousins when we were kids he was trying to insult them because they had like they just grew up in an apartment complex. Something. So he was like, "Well, at least I didn't grow up in gangrene." Like it was like the hood or something.
Ooh.
And they just destroyed him for like 20 minutes. Like, you fucking idiot. That's not a gangrene is, you fucking moron. It's not some fucking community where the poor people go.
Man, that is
should be.
That is kind of a great
Isn't that
insult.
great?
Yeah.
I didn't grow up in gangrene.
Yeah,
That's how I'll never forget that. They were like, you fucking idiot. The second it left his fucking mouth. Anyway, sorry.
So, so Melanie Griffith was also seriously hurt when her face was slashed by a lion. She had to get over 50 stitches and reconstructive plastic surgery.
Oh, began the plastic surgery
That's-
journey that she continued.
Now you hear this, you're like, yeah, of course
Yeah, that
she
should be in
looks
her
like
bio.
that now.
Yeah, that should be in her bio at the top.
A fucking lion tore my face off.
Yeah. My backstory is this.
The incident can be seen in the film. set to bouncy and playful
course.
music that would be appropriate for slapstick, like I mentioned.
Incredible. Like just put a little parlor piano on there.
Because it's supposed to be a comedy. This guy saw a house full of lions and was just like, oh, this is comedy gold.
Yeah, he was trying to recreate that energy amongst terror and pain.
So
remember when we saw them bucking their heads out? It was hilarious.
Like you see the goddamn movie and you're like, this is terrifying.
Yeah.
So
I never want to see this movie
Yeah,
based on what they've said is in it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's like watching Faces of Death. Like, I don't want to see all that shit.
the best part is they dammed up, and this is like, halfway between Los Angeles and one of the desert cities, Lancaster. So not a lot of water, but they have this crucial scene that he rode in with the fucking rowboat. So they had to dam up like one of the small creeks there to create the lake. And you watch the scenes where they're on the rowboat in the lake, and you can tell the lake is about 3 feet deep, maybe, if that. But one day, the humans got some payback. A monsoon descended on Soledad Canyon, and a flood destroyed the movie set. During the deluge, 3 of the lions got loose, and the sheriff had to shoot them.
Oh, my God.
So a bunch of lions are just running around Valencia. They're like, Tippi?
Tippi Hedren?
Sorry.
These people never got in trouble for any of this.
It's the 70s, man. Whatever,
Yeah,
dude.
they didn't have
that's what I'm
laws.
talking about. Wrecking cars,
Shit
leaving
like
them.
this is why they have laws now.
I know.
For why you can't do this shit.
Yeah, dude. Cheech and Chong and Pee Wee Herman are tearing up the strip. Fucking lions are mauling people in Valencia. Hedren said they were all determined to finish the film. Quote, "We were so sure the film was going to be a success that we thought everything would take care of itself financially."
God, how confused must you be?
Roar's final cost was $17 million, and from inception to completion, it took 11 years to finish. And all of Noel Marshall's Exorcist money went to pay for it. So, like, in the middle of all this,
He had a huge
you
success.
have one of the biggest hit films of the 70s, and this guy should have just been chilling, but instead he is paying for his family to be torn to pieces by wild cats.
Yeah, that probably also led some of this actions because he was like, I fucking know. I knew about The Exorcist. I know about fucking Lion House. This is going to be fucking
Definitely.
good. I know it.
Marshall and Hedren had to sell every piece of property they had, and obviously they divorced in 1982. So the second this thing was out, it was Tippi was
Yeah.
out too.
I'm sure that conversation for them, like, I'm just going to put lions on the reason. I'm just going to write lions. And you fucking know what it means. So
No,
let's
not
just settle
lions.
it. And
Not lions, Seth. Lions,
and more lions. Like, yeah, she
Yes.
just wrote that on the divorce papers. They were like, yeah, that checks out. We don't need to ask you more questions.
So Royer was eventually released in 1981 in the UK, Australia, Japan, Germany, and Italy. It brought in $2 million total and was never released theatrically in North America until 2015.
Damn.
When Draft House Films bought the rights to it, re-released it on Blu-ray, and screened it at South by Southwest.
Fuck you, Alamo Draft
That's right.
House. Fuck you.
It's also, I just looked at it on Letterboxd. It's not badly rated. It's 3.2, which means it works. It's not perfect, but it works or something.
I don't think that's where the rating comes from. I think it's
That's the way I
because
look at it.
you have genuine, like, you have an
You can't believe
emotional,
what you're looking
you have an
at. Yeah.
emotional reaction to it. You're like, no.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah.
a bad idea. That's a
Totally.
It's like Jackass. You're just
Yeah.
like no.
Yeah. It has
Except
some
you're
value.
not. It's like Jackass, but you're not excited to see the pranks. You just
Totally.
wish they would. You're like, no, don't. No, please.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
the thrill is the value.
Actually,
You're
I
like,
guess
look at this
you know
shit.
what? It is a 1-to-1 because
Yeah.
the parts of Jackass that I maybe least enjoy is the animal stuff.
Oh, yeah,
where
sure.
it's-
Wild Boys, the whole spinoff was that.
I like some of it because
Yeah.
some of it's interesting, but
But
when
it's so scary.
like it's like when Johnny Knoxville, a 50-year-old man, is getting like bucked up 20 feet in the air and landing on his head,
it's
then you're just like,
horrible.
fuck, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Or when Rachel Wolfson gets bit by the spider directly on
Yeah.
the face, you're like,
Scorpion.
Oh, that's right,
And then
Scorpion.
she licks a taser.
God, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Like that's at least stupid. Like, I'm licking tasers, fuck it. But
It's
yeah, you
funny.
involve
And
an
the
animal,
scorpion
yeah.
thing's funny. But
Yeah.
then if you're just like, I'm going to use a bull to hurt myself. It's like, okay, Johnny, you need to
Yeah.
retire.
Yeah. We get it.
So as of this recording, Tippi Hedren is still kicking at age 94. She runs the
Damn, is that right?
She runs the Roar Foundation, which she started in 1983 at the Shambhala
Right after
Preserve.
the
No, she
divorce.
learned nothing.
Right after the divorce, she was like, I'm trying to run this shit myself.
Well, no,
That's the problem.
She's stuck with them. think about how many fucking animals they have. Like, and she's like, well, this guy is done with this film. He's, we're done. He's moving on. Somebody's got to take care of these cats. And to her credit, she now no longer believes the film was a good idea. So,
that's how Stockholm Syndrome works.
And she was instrumental in passing the Federal Captive Wildlife Safety Act in 2003, which outlawed interstate transport of big cats for trade, and the Big Cats and Public Safety Protection Act of 2022, which makes it illegal to import, export, transport, sell, receive, acquire, purchase, or breed big cats. Exemptions are provided for certain entities such as universities and wildlife sanctuaries. One of those sanctuaries is Shambhala in Acton, California. They offer twice monthly tours, and if you want to see where Roar is filmed and what big cats they have left, I'm fucking going.
I'm going to Shambhala, baby.
I gotta go to Shambhala. What a terrible. First of all, I think it's maybe an African word.
Yeah.
But in English, it does sound like shambles, like the shambles of your life, your money, your career.
Totally.